The go-to dialog when you want to affect your column options is text frame options. And this you can access under the object menu. Command or Control B, a keyboard shortcut worth committing to memory. You can also access text frame options if you hold down the Option or Alt key and just double click on a selected text frame. So I want to just point out a few things here. This first text frame has inset spacing. It's even inset spacing, and it's functioning as an inner margin. So rather than apply the indents to the text, I've applied an inset to the frame. Also, the text is aligned to the center, so there should be an exact amount of space top and bottom, which is in this case not so important because I'm also applying this option, auto size. So auto size in this case, height only, so it's going to grow or shrink from the bottom. Now I have a movie coming up about auto sizing, but for now I just want to point out that with auto size on, if I were to add text, the frame would grow, or if I delete text, the frame will shrink in height. Next, I have a table. Now, the thing about a table is that it's made up of lots of cells, and each table cell is just like a text frame. If I put my cursor inside this table cell and then select it by pressing the Escape key, I can come to the table menu and to cell options and then to text, and we see that it has inset spacing and it also has vertical alignment within the cell, just like a text frame. Over here, this sidebar text frame has uneven margins or uneven insets because we have to compensate for the right-hand margin and the bleed. You can see that it is bleeding or extending beyond the edge of the page. So if we look at the inset, we see that we have a much bigger inset on the top and then also on the bottom and the right, and the left is significantly less. One other point I want to make, and that is that we can round the corners of our text frames, but it might not always work. So in this case, let's say I want to round this bottom corner. Now, if we look at the insets, I currently have a bigger inset on the bottom than on the top left and right. To round the corners on a frame, you click on the yellow square. That's going to give you diamonds on each of the corners. Now, if I pull on any one of these, it will round them all together. If I just want to affect a single corner, as I do in this case, hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to pull that in like so. Now you can see that that's really disrupted the alignment of the type. Well, you know, maybe I could fix that, but what it's also done is switch to a uniform inset. So once you round the corners of a frame, or if you're working with an irregular shape text frame, you just have a uniform inset value for that frame. Just something to keep in mind.